Good morning, everyone. I can't believe it is already Friday, but here we are. And looks like we got a nice move up. We might actually have a trade really quick here. Depends on how we want to look at this channel. Yeah, we definitely could have a long setup here pretty soon. Well, don't be shy this morning to say what's up as you're coming in, folks. Cleared my cache this morning. Do want to make sure to reload my data. I'm going to do that right now. Good morning, Matthew. What's going on? Johnny, what's up? What's up? Eliezer, good morning. Exponential, good to see ya. Guys, it is very likely we're going to see a second entry long here. Hey, Shay, good to see you this morning. See if we can get more of a pullback here. It'd be crazy to get it set up this early. It's been a while since that's happened. I want to see if there's anything else we're missing here. Doesn't look like it. We definitely want to mark this level down here. We have pretty much a double bottom there, right at the overnight low. This was acting as resistance for a minute. Miles away from yesterday's high or anything along those lines. I'll throw it up there just in case we get there. So that was the overnight high, huh? It's the high day. Hey, lost. Happy Friday to you as well. I just cannot even believe it's Friday. This week has flown by. Flown by with very little setups. Oh, one of those weeks you just gotta be patient. Alright, we got all our levels set. Except yesterday's low. Oh, we're already above. We already went below that in the pre-market. See if we can get down to that exponential moving average. Shayak is calling 43.40. That is quite low. All the way down here. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. That would be a pretty wild move for the day. 6:20, or sorry, 9:20. 10 minutes before the open. Checking the news, and we do have consumer sentiment today at 10, so half hour after market open. We will have to be cautious about that. Will be a couple volatile candles for sure. Looks like we're going to be a minute before getting to the EMA on this, so let's pop over to the Nasdaq really quick. Check it out. I actually would like the same setup, but we're not really pulling back much. Otherwise, similar action. Had like a double bottom, overnight low. This resistance that never really even held, immediately got above that. There's our gap. Yeah, the Nasdaq kind of running away here. But pattern holds for the Nasdaq right on the open. It should have a big juicy red candle. That has kind of been how things have happened lately. Nasdaq is looking really strong, and then right at the open it switches gears. But the real setup today is on the ES, if we can get it. Technically already have the second entry long here too. Pull back, first entry, pull back, and then this ticked higher right here. One tick higher. So that is technically our second entry. Obviously not going to take that way up here over a bearish bar. So we're waiting for that visual second entry. One leg, two legs, then take a long right there. Like the stream if you are looking for the same setup, and we'll trade it if it happens. Or throw some party hats in the chat or something. More folks just coming in. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. We are looking for a setup right now. Hey, Gabe. Gabe's on track. We're doing this thing. Maybe if we all just wanted enough. Gonna be going for 8 ticks if this sets up. Likely will go down right at the open. Hey Archer, good morning. Nice, I'm seeing a lot of folks throwing those party hats down, looking for the same setup. Too close to open. I like to party though, Archer. I like to party. Aloha, Matt. Happy Friday to you. No bueno. Well, we'll see. We'll see. See if we get a pullback to the EMA and a bullish bar. I think I'm gonna have to take it, even if it's right on the open. This is looking too good. Nasdaq still up in the clouds. Hasn't even thought about pulling back yet. Johnny asked, do you think I would have consistency issues if I halved my risk for these last few days before payout? I only use 2 contracts, thinking of using 1 contract now. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. Are you, Johnny, are you getting a payout from a funded account? That's awesome. Looks like we're going to push up to a new high without a setup here, folks. Thomas asked, was there anything wrong with taking that lower high? Thinking the range would win out after a break a new high of the uptrend. The only thing there, Senor Thomas, is that this range wasn't even really confirmed, right? We had 2 touches at the bottom. This was only our 2nd touch at the top, right? You would have needed to see this come down and then for the 3rd touch play a setup like that. Otherwise, you're just guessing that this range is going to form. You really don't know that yet. So I see why you would take that lower high. Like if this is a confirmed range, that does look really good. But otherwise, I think you're better off to wait until there's a confirmed range. I don't know, Johnny. That's a good question. If Apex would consider that flipping contracts if you're reducing your risk. I don't think so. I don't think so. You can justify it trading wise, like, hey, yeah, I'm just reducing my risk on these trades because the setups aren't as good or something, then I'm pretty sure they would understand. That's probably what I would do if I was trying to get a payout and right on the window there. All right. Yes, moving up. No setup for us. We might have a little bit of a wider channel like that. They allow 20% flipping days. Oh, okay. I gotta read the fine print on that stuff, huh? We're just playing around. You know what? Already I'm thinking the way that we adjusted this channel is not legit because we didn't even reach the top of it. I think we probably got to keep it how we had it and expect to move down here. On the Nasdaq, that is the first break of the channel, so we actually could get a long setup. Market is now open. see how the EMA holds here. Nice bounce off the EMA for the NAS. Second entry might work out. We'll see. Come on, Nasdaq, don't move too high on us now. Perfect for the first entry. That's exactly what you want to see. Clear bounce off the EMA. We just need one move down, get us in this thing. ES is below its EMA. Come on, baby, get down there. No, don't go to a new high yet. Not yet. That is technically our second entry long. Can't take it this high up. Need to see a bar right here on the EMA. So maybe we'll get a double trap. Stop out these early second entry longs. Get a nice signal bar there. Man, if the ES pops up, the Nasdaq is just going to launch. It's really strong, relatively. Still have not made a new high of this uptrend, so we still have a chance. Yeah, the second the ES moves up, the Nasdaq is going to launch. Hopefully the S&P can go down a little bit more. There we go. S&P going down, dragging the Nasdaq down with it. Hopefully it can turn around right here. This would be the perfect time for the Nasdaq to change its mind. We just need one more good looking bar. Come on, little buddy, go down a little bit more. Tick below and reverse. Man, it's strong. All right, here we go. Taking a nice green bar. Don't want it to move too high. You gotta have room to get out. Ay, that's pretty high up. I gotta cancel. That's too high. Unfortunately. it will likely work out, but we only had, between our entry and the high, only had about 4 points. So not enough room to get out. I could take a limit order. But still. Okay, so it just made a new high. Now we have to stop considering the long anyway. And this is exactly why we skipped, right? Because right when it made a new high, it's reversing. You always want to make sure, this is a great example, always want to make sure that you have room between where you're entering, if it's long, and where the high of the swing is. That's what you want to get out before there, or right out there. And that was just simply not enough space. Of course, the trade still may work out. And with how strong the Nasdaq is, that's not going to be a surprise at all that it works out, but still, you got to consider that when placing your trades. If this bar would have closed right down here somewhere, oh my gosh, that's A+ setup every time. All right, flipping back to the S&P. Little downtrend working here. I'm a little bummed that Nasdaq trade didn't work out. It's hard to watch it go on without you, you know? But I think I made the right call. Either way. That's how it's going to be. The only thing you can do is wait for setups to look just right and to fit all the criteria of a high probability trade. And if it doesn't, that's okay. There's going to be another one. It's hard, especially times like this, because this month, for me at least, has been pretty slow so far. There's not been a lot of setups, so kind of itching to get a couple good wins, and that's not a good thing. Always want to just be chill and let things happen as they come and not try to force anything. So yeah, it is good that I notice it, for sure. I always want to be aware. So trying to now act on it, right? And so if anything, maybe that was just a good practice at acting on being patient, because yeah, if I was way up on the month, I'd have no problem not taking that trade. Don't be itching. Now there's a catchphrase for you, Toad. I like that one. Don't be itching. Johnny says, I treat losing days as great practice since I'm such a sore loser. If I'm able to walk away accepting losing day without breaking my rules, is a big win. I agree, Johnny. I agree. That's something that I definitely struggle with as well. It's hard to have a losing day. It's like a shot to my confidence, which is terrible. It really, I mean, losses are a part of trading, right? So I'm really trying to do that same thing. Like if I can just take one losing trade and then don't do anything for the rest of the day, that's a huge win. I usually end up trying to make it back. Gosh, I'm trying not to look at the Nasdaq. Like, oh my gosh, we would have had this amazing runner. Can't look behind. Can't look behind. Only ahead. All right. S&P might be finding resistance at this high. Big divergence between the markets today. Nasdaq strong as all get out. Yes, not so much. What do I think of extending the channel on the NAS? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely looking that way. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we're going to keep that for a minute. We could get another long setup. But this is a concern here. ES is not doing anything compared to NQ right now. But we do have this current uptrend, which has a break, and it looks like it's already getting a new high, so never mind, no setup there. Totally, Nasdaq is super strong, Johnny. It might have an overshoot just now. Unless we have a wider channel, but that doesn't really fit the price action very well. There's so much empty space at the bottom. We ought to probably stick to this spike in a channel. Maybe this is the overshoot that's going to finally reverse it as the ES reverses. All right, ES moving back into its range, it looks like. And the Nasdaq with the possible overshoot. So this may be where we start heading down. Dang, NQ was still looking for another high. Craziness. But I don't really think there's any other way to draw that channel. I mean, obviously we could widen it a bit, but just waiting to see what the pullback looks like. It still could happen. Yes, thank you, Exponential, for reminding us. We do have consumer sentiment going down here in about 13 minutes. ES does have a lower high going on, but I think has been a little bit too strong to think about fading the breakout. We still do not have a gap fill either. And the ES is actually at a doji for the day. Craziness. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq is quite the opposite. Still expecting a drop here, but if it doesn't drop, we're gonna have to adjust. Maybe like a spike in a channel or something, but I feel like it's gonna drop. If I were a betting man, which I am, I would say it drops here. Johnny says, I don't trade range setup, but that looks like a good lower high after getting extreme from the channel. I don't necessarily think so, Johnny. For the same reason that I didn't think this was a good lower high right here, because this is not confirmed yet, right? Just like this range wasn't confirmed. There's only the second touch here, and then you get a lower high. Same right here. You only have one. This is just the second touch. Now I think it'll work out because of possible overshoot on the Nasdaq. 2 uptrends reaching a new high, but still I think in general you're better off to wait for the failed second entry long, which happened right here, but you know, can't take that huge bar. Getting a little volatile even before the news release here. Big impulsive move down on the S&P. Did not get that on the Nasdaq. Still holding strong up here. Putting in a little consolidation. Little lower high putting in here. I feel like the Nasdaq is just going to dump on the news. With how weak the overall market is, this just looks like a trap to me. Overshoot as well, putting in a little consolidation, 7 minutes away from the release. I think we're gonna see a big bar in here, big red bar. Perhaps I already have a little breaking new low of that move down, and maybe we're going higher here. The news can really screw up any sort of patterns that we might be looking at, though. They're predicting a slight, very slight decrease in consumer sentiment. This is the preliminary consumer sentiment. Previously is 63.8. Predicting 63.7. I do not have any hot takes as to what the reaction will be, whether it's positive or negative. Would assume that if it's positive, the market goes down. And if it's really negative, the market goes up. And then if it's about what is predicted, it'll probably be a couple volatile candles, and then we'll stay right around where we are. I guess I do have a hot take. Matthew says, my sentiment is good, so I'm going long 50 contracts. Yeah, let's do that. Who's with Matthew? Let's go, baby. I miss the Wall Street bets days. You know, let's get back to that, guys. Just doing absolutely irresponsible things. Nasdaq finally showing some preliminary signs of weakness. Put in a bearish hammer at the high of day there. Ooh, Thomas spells humor the fancy way. Must be Canadian? Maybe British? Throwing out guesses here. Maybe just European. French. Aha, there it is. Anders. Nice. There you go. I have my own contribution to that. Triple test. Code is calling out the triple test. Yeah. Not gonna take it anyway, but it for sure have some support forming right here. Joseph Trader Extraordinaire. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All of a sudden I'm fancy. Alright, 14 seconds. Let's see what happens, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What'd I say? What'd I say? Big red candle on the Nasdaq. The magic crystal ball works again. Still pending what the actual number is. Oof. Quite a bit below expectations. So I would imagine the market might go up here. We'll see. We'll see. They were predicting 63.7, came in at 60.4. Market is digesting the information. Computers are battling it out. Buy, 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 sell, 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 buy, sell. definitely going to have to let this news settle. We got quite a bit of volatility. Whenever the bots are battling, the humans are losing. Man, that is the truth. Although that's really pretty much what the stock market is all the time, is just computers battling each other. We're just trying to get some of the crumbs, you know? Nasdaq continues to drop. It's starting to look quite organized though. That's a good sign. Over on the ES, we might come down and test that key level. Previous resistance, turn support. Maybe we come test it again. Still working down towards that support. I've not seen a short setup. Definitely consider it. I'll consider it on both indices. Still no setup. Welcome those of you who are just popping in. It's maybe where we start heading down for the gap fill too. We have quite a distance there, but the market doesn't like to see those gaps stay on the chart. So here we are. We get past this area, this would definitely be the target. First entry short already. EMA not holding here. May get a V-shaped reversal. See how it responds on the Nasdaq. Holding a little bit on the Nasdaq. There we go. We're just pending here to see what the EMA does. If it holds and we get a second entry short, we'll have to take that. Meanwhile, if you're appreciating hanging out this morning, please like the stream. Subscribe if you're not. I don't know if there's anyone else there that's watching that is not subscribed yet. That would be craziness. Please do, and then you can participate in the chat, hang out with us, support the channel, all that. Matthew says, feels like an entry short on the ES. I'm not seeing 2 legs down yet. To me, this looks like just 1 leg. We don't have anything super clear as far as 2 legs, so I'm not thinking a failure. I'm thinking an actual short here. Looks like we're about to move to a new low, though. Still a chance. We haven't made a new low yet, so this still could come back to the EMA and give us an entry. It's not looking likely, though. All right, there's the new low on the S&P. Let's see about the Nasdaq. We still have not made a new low there, so it could happen. Hey, Jerome. Good morning, welcome. How about a wider channel? Well, let's check that out. Yeah, I mean, it fits pretty good for sure. We'll have to see what the market does here. I think that will be pretty telling. So I'm gonna keep it smaller for the time being. But yeah, if we continue to go down, then we will have to look at that wider option. Oh, sorry. You weren't seeing what I was seeing. Well, this is the wider option that Jerome is talking about right here. And it looks really nice, for sure. But I'm gonna have to see another confirmation of that, personally. So this is very range-like, so it's a pretty wide channel for a range. We're gonna keep it like this for now. All right, the Nasdaq coming back to the EMA. This could actually set up here. Gonna have to see it hold. And that is not what we want. Okay, we will take the short off the table. This is why you wait on drawing those bigger channels and kind of the range structure. You can see the ES just obliterating that idea. I mean, we could turn down super heavy right now, and yeah, then you could still consider a short, but so far it's looking like no bueno. Oof. Nice bearish hammer above the EMA on the Nasdaq. We can come down and get a lower high. I still may be interested. Oh, sorry. I'm just saying. Hope some of y'all got that short. Looked pretty good. I probably should have just taken it, but I don't know. It's just really choppy in here. It's kind of hard to trade in that. Oh, you took the ES and the Nasdaq. Nice. I didn't actually have a lower high. I just had that regular second entry above the EMA on the Nasdaq. So yeah, this is another one of those where it's just like, man, it didn't feel quite right. It worked out, but with how choppy this is, a lot of up and downs, that can easily have a one tick trap reverse and then maybe even end up going down but stop you out in the process. So I don't feel bad about skipping that one, but if you got it, that's definitely, you know, trade follows the rules and everything. Now we're just in a straight up range. Same on the NAS. Pretty range-like structure here as well. Testing the top of that mini range. Greg's asking, still not using fib drawing for the range. Oh, you can do that. Oh yeah, no. As it looks too cluttered. Looks too cluttered. Oh, I guess you could probably set that though, huh? Have less stuff in it. Need to get the price action toolbar back. I had it and then I deleted everything as my NinjaTrader is having problems, but I think I've fixed my NinjaTrader problems. Haven't had a crash in a long time. There's some of you guys remember me having to deal with that, so slowly putting stuff back into the system. Yeah, I'll get my price action toolbar back and then I can draw ranges pretty easily. See if we get a failed breakout here. Might also be a second entry short. Pull back, first entry, pull back. There's the second entry actually. There we go. Is this gonna fail or is this gonna be the legit breakout? Second entry chop. Am I right? Yeah, totally. Choppy price action for sure. Well, if you trade failed breakouts, there's your failed breakout. Might get a lower high confirmation too. Breakout kind of look like it's holding there.
You better wait here. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Even 10 minutes is a long time to be away from you.
Looking for a move back into the range here. Clear range established. We have this move up, which has a break and new high, so we're expecting a move down. Also, the larger channel here is the first break of it, so we're expecting a new low to be formed. Could have considered a failed second entry long there, but it just never set up. Reaching toward that new low, the bottom of the range support. Johnny says this will be my first payout. I'm only one trade away. Dude, that is so awesome. Congratulations, Johnny. What a huge accomplishment to pass an evaluation, work through all that. I'm sure there was some failed challenges along the way. Get funded, trade all the way up to payout. Great job. Great job. Just, you know, the biggest piece of advice, I'm sure you're already there, is just don't try to rush it, right? Don't take a trade just because you want the payout. If you are patient, and let's say you don't get a great setup between now and the payout window, and you don't get a payout this round, that's a win. If you can be patient and not try to force it, that's a huge win. So yeah, it will come. Obviously, you're already right at the threshold, so let it happen when it happens. If it's this payout period, great. If it's next one, that's fine, right? But amazing work, amazing work. Can I borrow 1K? Big bearish spike down. We do have our new low of that downtrend. Man, oh man, this feels like news, but I don't believe there's any sort of news scheduled right now. Johnny says I traded 2 funded accounts and 18 evaluations. 2 funded accounts will pay for the 18 evals. Nice. That's awesome. Breaking even on that. Johnny, do you still have those 18 evals? Are those still active? Are you still working on those? All right, with this move down, break new low, we are expecting a bounce here. They're 1 trade away too. Wow, so you're almost at 20 funded accounts. That is so cool, man. Keep after it, be patient. Gonna use 1 contract this time around. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Especially once you get to the funded stage, you want to guard that drawdown with your life. It's like your lifeline, you know? So we're going to have to, again, we're expecting a bounce here. We're going to have to see that proven. The market could continue lower. We will find out. This is a waiting period here. Right in here is where we're looking for a trade. We had this move down and a break. That's when you want to start looking for a trade. But then once you get that new low, this is where you pause. But if you're not, if you're still looking for a trade, like, you need to start to get used to that rhythm. There's certain areas in the chart where you really need to pay attention, really need to look closely and wait for a trade to happen. There's others where it's like, there's nothing setting up here, and this is one of those areas. You just want to see what prices do next. Saif passed 1 eval, working on 4 more, trading that funded account completely different. Yeah, it changes it once you get into that funded stage, doesn't it? It's really like the difference between going from a sim account to live money. It feels the same to me. All of a sudden it gets really real. Your emotions come into play more. But that is the beauty of, going through a company like Apex, is that you get all those same emotions, right? But you're not risking the same kind of capital. You have your fee for taking the evaluation, and then your data fee for the funded account. So it comes out to like, maybe 100 and change altogether. And that's all you're ultimately risking, even though you may have like a trade that has a $2,000 risk or something. So that is definitely the beauty of going through the funding companies. And especially when Apex does the sales, even the 71% off sale, it's a phenomenal deal. It's like, what? I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is for the different levels of accounts, but it's, 20, 30, 40 bucks, something like that, depending on what size you get. Come on, man. Johnny, pardon me, guys. Oof. Need some more hydration here. Johnny says, with live money, I'm reckless. The goal helps. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Having a goal helps you. That's also wise, Saif, to build it up slowly rather than trying to do 20 funded accounts at one time. Shayak, I highly doubt that that makes you the worst. I'm sure that there's others who have gone through way more evaluations than that. Toad, are you serious? Bolinox is doing 72% off? No way. Oh my gosh. That is funny. It's getting vicious out there, man, with all these funding companies. They're battling. Melvin, how many PAs do I have? I haven't actually said this before, but I do have 20. Can't tell you how many accounts I've had just in case my grandma is watching. We may still be working lower here. Anders, I'm still I still rotate them a little bit. I used to copy to all at the same time, but yeah, it's a lot of pressure. So I'm trying to build up some more buffer to be able to confidently have all of them going at the same time. I usually kind of like pick and choose, usually around like 10 at any given moment, on any given trade rather. All right, we are continuing to work lower, so we may have to figure out a wider channel, which I don't really want to do because this is pretty choppy. But we may have something along these lines here. So it looks like the S&P may have a wider channel, maybe. The Nasdaq does not look like that at all. This really just does look like we're basing, getting ready for a move up. So that might be the direction we head on the S&P as well, is no wider trend. Well, actually, I'm gonna, oh, sorry, you're not looking at the same thing I'm looking at. Here's what we got on the Nasdaq. Just looks like a couple of ranges, setting up a base. You know, this move down already had a break in a new low, so expecting a bounce here. I think that's how we're gonna approach the ES for now. This is just way too choppy to look at a wider trend, and here we go. Here's our bounce anyway. Oh man, Johnny, that's rough. A year and a half salary before I switched to prop firms. I don't think my mic's muted now. Oh. No, I wasn't talking. I don't think so. Unless I was accidentally talking to myself. Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of the road that most every trader has gone through, is losing a bunch of money before we figure it out. Still wanting to see a bounce, but every time we get one, it just gets smacked down. I know I don't really want to do it, but we eventually might be forced to adopt a wider channel. All right. What are you going to do, market? Had some nice movement out of the gate, pre-market, off the open, looked good. We're just slowing down to Nothingsville. Hey, Joshua. Welcome, welcome. No, I use a trade copier to trade multiple funded accounts, which is definitely, to me, the best way to leverage prop firms. One funded account is great, but if you can spread your risk over 20, not only spread your risk, but spread your profits double, triple, whatever, quadruple, 10 times your profits by using multiple accounts. So build it up slowly. I think some folks in here are sharing that they're doing kind of one at a time. I think that's a good way to go, but eventually, you know, that should, I shouldn't say should, to me, that's the goal of using prop firms, is to be able to multiply your earnings like that. Alexi, yo, what copier to use? I used the Apex copier for a long time, but I switched to the Replicanto one. And they're the same. They function the same. The Replicanto is just like the original, so they have updates and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know that I've seen necessarily a performance difference between the two, but it is kind of nice to know that the one I'm using will get updated frequently. Well, let's see if a wider channel fits on the Nasdaq, because we just keep going down, although choppy. Want to be prepared. Ooh, it's decent. We have some room at the bottom, but yeah, if we can reject off at this level, could easily get confirmed.
Riley.
All right, already negating that channel we just drew. So that's, oh man, shows you want to be patient with drawing those patterns. I've been saying we've expected a bounce here, and so just let that happen, you know? That can happen when the market's really slow. You start like trying to see stuff that may not even be there. Here we go, folks. We finally got some movement. May have a trade opportunity coming up. This uptrend can continue. We can look to get a second entry to the long side. If it gets smacked down, we'll have to reassess. But currently, I like the possibility of a long. This is one of those times, like I was saying previously, there's areas on the chart where you just don't even really need to look that close. This is one, you know, when you're just kind of chopping around down in here, no reason to try to analyze exactly what's going on. You're just chopping. But here's where you need to start paying attention, because we have a move up, several candles in a row that are bullish, and we want to see if we can get a long here. And be watching this closely on both indices, actually. They both can set up well. Johnny asks, are the majority of my PAs 50K accounts? How many contracts do I trade on them? Yes, the majority are 50K, although if I could go back and do it again, I would definitely do 300K accounts, as they have larger drawdowns, a lot more leeway, a lot more breathing room, if you will, as far as the drawdown. So yeah, if I could do it again, I'd definitely do 300Ks. And I do have several funded ones, and it's been a much easier process. And then I trade, like I've said before, the minimum amount of contracts I trade is 4, because I want to have a runner. The math doesn't work out with any less contracts than that. So I've kind of had to thread the needle on those 50Ks. It doesn't leave a lot of room for error. But if you're only trading like one contract, I think the 50K makes sense. 4 contracts is big on 50K. Yeah, it very much is. And so it makes me a little bit nervous, but that is the benefit of just waiting for really high quality setups. You can trade a little bit bigger size, have confidence that it's more likely to succeed. Come on, baby. Get on back to the EMA. Hey, Pepe. You came at the right time. We may, knock on wood, have a setup. Just need the market to pull back, not run up without us. I don't feel like that's too much to ask. But sometimes for the market, it is too much to ask. Here we go, baby. Come on now. Come on down. Hey, Melvin. Currently I'm using Replicanto, although I have used both. And they're pretty much the same performance-wise. Replicanto just gets updates, so kind of like that. Candlestick talking in the third person over there. It's looking better and better. Getting really close to that EMA. Probably go for, I think we can go for 8 ticks here. As long as we get a setup right on the EMA. Been quiet trying to study this stuff. Good. Good, good. Yep, put in that work, it'll pay off. No, don't go up yet. Don't go up yet. It's not time. It's not time. You need to go back to the EMA first. Come on. Here we go. This is lovely. This is lovely. The Nasdaq has quite a ways to correct, so hopefully it can start moving down, help the ES move down a little bit farther. Nasdaq making a new high. It's not going to be helpful for us. I don't think this is gonna happen, folks. I don't think this is gonna happen. I think we're about to launch up with no setup. That is the second entry long too, by the way. We're gonna need a double trap to form. Here's the second entry. Boom. First entry. Boom. Second entry. Now our only hope is to get this stopped out and then reverse with the bull bar. Couple ticks away from a new high there. Starting to look a little bit stacked. Too far from the EMA, Matthew. Otherwise, man, the EMA was right in the middle of that. Would have been lovely. But yep, it's gonna go higher without us. Oh well. So close, so close. Well, to review the trades for the day, didn't really see anything on the ES. The one option was, where was it? This second entry short right here. Sorry, you can't see what I'm drawing right here. Had a trend going down. I think it was drawn like this at the time. So move down, break. We were expecting a new low, and we did have a pullback, first entry pullback, second entry short. That was pretty good. The only thing was it was going right into these lows, so you had to have a shorter target. I just didn't like how congested this looked, so that was probably the only decent setup on the S&P. On the Nasdaq, man, had that one trade right at the open that I almost took. Second entry long. Actually, it was a double trap. There was the second entry, and then we had those folks get stopped out. This nice bull bar. I probably should have risked it anyway, but just didn't have a lot of room to get out on the highs. Meanwhile, the ES was going down. So yeah, I'm not upset that I skipped it. I think it was a wise skip because it could have easily gone the other way, but that setup looked good. So those were the two setups that I really saw today. Toad says, I may have taken that if it wasn't late Friday. Yeah. Hey, man. It's good to end the week green, you know what I mean? And that is hopefully what we'll do. But yeah, follow I am Trader Joe on Twitter. There may be some setups today. Crossing our fingers. Stay patient. For those of you who are nearly completing evaluations or maybe even moved to the funded stage, congratulations. That's awesome. Those of you who are taking advantage of those Apex sales, that's great. Thanks everybody for a wonderful week. Have a great weekend. Get some rest from the markets, and I will see you on Monday. Take care.